morning. So as you can tell, we are not in Albuquerque anymore. Today I am in Georgia. I am hiking Kennesaw Mountain, Pigeon Hill Trail. This was a favorite of mine in high school and after, when I lived in Georgia, out here visiting the parents for a few days, and figured I haven't hiked this in about, I don't know, 20 years, probably over 20 years. I figured I'd come up here and see how much it's changed and take a look around. I think it's about 1,000 feet of elevation gain. Definitely doesn't compare to the Rocky Mountains, but it's a Georgia mountain. I flew in a few days ago and the weather here has been amazing. It hasn't been super humid. In the middle of the day it starts to get a little humid, but the mornings and the evenings have been really nice, which is awesome because I hate humidity. It's one of the things that drove me out of Georgia. That and the traffic. The beginning of this trail, I'm doing it counterclockwise to get the heavy part of the hike over first. The beginning of part of this hike is going to be uphill for a few miles. So I'm going to go ahead and get up these mountains, this mountain, one mountain, and I will film a little bit at the top so you guys can see what Kennesaw Mountain is all about. It was a battlefield during the Civil War. A lot of history in this area. So yeah, we'll see how long it takes me. Haven't hiked in about a week, so don't have my trekking poles. I don't have my regular backpack. Had to kind of piece some stuff together this morning to get that done. I ran out of room on my carry-on bag on the airplane, and I really didn't want to check in trekking poles and stuff. So yeah, I'll catch you guys up in a little bit. Bye. So when I was in high school, this trail was not a super popular trail. There'd be some people on it on the weekends, but well, I guess I say it wasn't popular. It was popular, but there wasn't like a ton of people all the time. Now this trail is overcome with people. I'm used to being by myself most of the day if I don't have a hiking buddy. And this trail, I've run into people continuously through the whole trail. It looks like it's a pretty popular dog walking path. A lot of people visited the top of Kennesaw Mountain, but there wasn't a whole lot of people on the paths below Kennesaw Mountain, which is where we're at. So yeah, it looks like it's a pretty well-maintained trail. It's nothing crazy. A lot of squirrels. Lots and lots of squirrels. So this was the location of barracks at Kennesaw Mountain during the Civil War. So we are down here. We're going to be climbing up there. So we're going to walk that whole mountain terrain and then come back down, and I'm parked on the other side of that. It's about, I don't know, 10:30 in the morning, and the bugs are starting to come out. That's fun. And looks like this was the site of an education building. We have a little bit of the remnants of that. Looks like this was probably the walkway up to the building. It was probably like right around here somewhere. Whew. So here's some of those hills I was looking for. We're about halfway through the trail. I think I'm going to take you on a side trail when I get done with this one that I used to do all the time when I was in high school. There's a nice little creek that runs through it. Alright, there's a lot of people, so I'm going to stop filming. I will catch you guys a little later. Alright, made it to the top of Kennesaw Mountain. Actually, not quite. We're almost there, a little bit farther. So yeah, they still have some of the Confederate cannons up here. There's a lot of little landmarks up here that are really cool. A lot of history. Kennesaw Mountain was one of the biggest battles in the Civil War. Read up on it. It's kind of cool. Alright, more uphill. We've been going uphill for about 2 miles, and it's been pretty steep incline the whole way. I decided to do the route counterclockwise, which actually left the hardest part at the end. So get over the top of this and everything from here is downhill. Alright, tippy top of Kennesaw Mountain. A lot of people up here today. That's Kennesaw over there, and then over there behind those trees is Atlanta. I'll give you guys the stats at the end of the trail of how many miles and what the elevation was. I'm learning not to trust all trails at all because they were wrong. Pretty much 99.9% of the time that app is incorrect. They're close, but sometimes it's way off. I had a trail that told me it was, I want to say 4 miles, and it turned out to be 7 miles, so those extra miles can make a big difference, especially depending on water supply. Nice little hike. It's getting kind of humid now. It's probably not humid at all, but because I hate humidity, I'm calling it humid. Going to be a lot of downhill. I'm still wearing my Brooks hiking shoes. I got the Topos in the other day. I'm not sure. I don't know. We'll see. I wore them through the airport. So I walked in them through the Atlanta airport a couple times, and they feel alright. I'm just afraid to take them on down hills. We'll see what happens. I ordered a size too big because that was what they recommended for through hikers, just to keep their feet or their toes from banging inside the toe box, and also allows for your feet to swell because evidently that's going to be a thing. So we'll see. I'm doing pretty good without my trekking poles today. I'm proud of myself. I depend on them quite a bit for the downhills. So far so good. The uphill was a butt kicker, but not the worst I've done. So I think I have a little bit of an unfair advantage, seeing as how I came from a higher elevation than Kennesaw, Georgia. So breathing a little bit better. I feel like everything's just a little bit easier when you come down to a lower elevation to hike. Yeah, got this one done pretty quick. I think we're right at 2 hours right now, and I think we're just under 5 miles. A lot of people up here today, which is cool to see. There used to not be this many people hiking this trail when I was in high school, so they've done a lot of restoration up here since I was in high school too, to protect some of the historical sites. When I was a teenager, we used to be able to climb all over the hold on. I don't know if you guys can hear all that cracking in the woods. That's squirrels throwing stuff. It's kind of funny. I forgot about, so there's Kennesaw Mountain and then there's Little Kennesaw Mountain. I forgot about Little Kennesaw Mountain, so I had a little bit of another climb to the top of that one. A lot of uphill and downhill today, which is a little different than what I'm used to with New Mexico, because that's all straight up and then you turn around and come straight down. There's not a whole lot of great elevation ups and downs. So this is a nice little change, variation. Get me a little bit more used to what the AT is going to be like as far as terrain goes starting in Georgia. Alright, we finished that loop around Kennesaw, up Big Kennesaw, up Little Kennesaw, and then down across the street at Burnt Hickory, and now we are on another trail on the other side. It looks like this is Cheatham Hill and Knob Farm. 26 miles to Cheatham Hill and 55 to Knob Farm. We're not going that far. This is a trail I used to walk when I was a teenager a lot. I really enjoyed it. We used to be able to go out into these fields out here and play football or have a picnic or whatever. Get in trouble, you know, all the fun stuff. So that trail was just over 6 miles. It was 6.6. I did it in just over 3 hours. I think it was 3 hours and 6 minutes. And an elevation gain of 1,056 feet. So I'm getting faster. I kind of average over 2 miles an hour at the beginning of the trail, but towards the end of the trail, it drops off significantly just because my knees start to hurt real bad. This was a lot of downhill coming off of Little Kennesaw, so my knees are sore, but this trail is pretty flat the whole way. So we're just going to take a little detour and stop at my little creek that I like to hang out at. Well, used to like to hang out at. Sorry for all the start and stops on this video. There's a lot of people on this trail. It's kind of cool to see, but man, when I came out here when I was a teenager, there was nobody out here but me, and a couple of my friends, like, you never saw people hiking these trails ever. So, fun fact, I had never known what the name of this trail is, because there's no, well, when I was a kid, there was no markers on the trail. So this trail is called Noses Creek Trail. Ta-da, now I know. This is one of, things have changed drastically. This is one of the trails, or one of the grass fields we used to hang out in, because it was off the road and a little more hidden, and you can kind of go back and around to be even more hidden. I don't exactly remember how far it is to this creek, but we're gonna find out. May add an hour, it may add 5 hours. We'll see. This area tends to have a lot of tourists from other states in it. So I've run across a lot of people from Georgia who are hiking it that are just local Kennesaw. But I've run into people from New York, San Francisco. There is a couple of people that are here from Germany. There was somebody here from Budapest. I believe there were 2 Russian gentlemen at the top of the mountain. I kind of could tell by their language that it was German. I mean, Russian. I may be incorrect, but it sounded like Russian. They didn't speak English, so I wasn't able to talk to them, unfortunately. It's a little bit different than what you would find in Albuquerque. People up in those mountains usually aren't from Germany. So that's kind of cool. Got to meet some interesting people and hear some southern sayings that I haven't heard in a long time, which is always massively fun for me because I will pick it up and stick with it for a few months until I am in Albuquerque again for a few months, which always cracks me up that I slide right back into a southern drawl whenever I come out here. It's very confusing growing up. I'm from Wyoming, lived most of my life in New Mexico, and graduated in Georgia, so I have absolutely no idea how I'm supposed to sound. I can't tell if I'm supposed to sound like a Wyomingite, a New Mexican, or a Georgian, so again, some of our grassy areas out here. I hope the creek is still there. If I walk all the way down there and it's not there anymore, I'm going to be very sad. Sometimes I can't tell if the screaming on the trail is a child or a dog being attacked. Sorry. I was trying to listen. It sounds like a child. It looks like they've added some new paths in here. Yep. Noses Creek Trail. I'm really confused why that's pointing this way to Kennesaw Mountain. Kennesaw Mountain's behind me. It's not this way. Interesting. Seeing a lot of these signs on the trail. These are new to me. I've never seen them before. I'm going to have to look up some of them. So instead of looking for rattlesnakes, I'm looking for copperheads. I'm wondering if that's why they don't want people walking off trail in the grass anymore, because copperheads are plentiful out here. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and hang this up for a little bit. Catch you guys hopefully at what used to be the creek. Oh, how things have changed. So there's my bridge. It used to not have guardrails on it, and you could sit on it and dangle your feet off of it and stare into the water. Those days are now over. It was pretty sketch back then. It literally looked like the boards were going to cave in at any moment. So I think this is just over half a mile in. It felt a lot longer when I was a teenager. I used to come back here and hike this trail on the opposite side every once in a while, but most of my friends did not want to do that, so I usually did that on my own. There used to be a lot more water in here. I think I'm going to have my lunch down by the river today, or creek, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that bridge used to be a lot lower and not so well constructed. I think this is all I'm going to film today. I think I'm going to wrap this up and eat my lunch and get on out of here and get back to the folks' house. Hang out with them for a little while. It's been really nice being able to come out here and see them. I miss my folks. So I will catch up with you guys on the next hike. Be back in Albuquerque next week. I know that there's some other trails that I've been looking at, and Graham has been hiking with me, and I know there's some trails that he's been looking at, so we'll see if he has one he would like to do sometime next week. Alright, everybody have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and farewell to Georgia. It's been another good one.